Hey there viewers, it's Charlie. I'm back again with another Transformers review. And this time I'll be reviewing Armada Scavenger. So, this guy is a green and purple bulldozer, which is actually not what Scavenger normally turns into. If anything, this is more akin to Bone Crusher. But nope, they named him Scavenger. And if anything, the name Bone Crusher was actually used in Armada as a missile truck mini-con. But anyways, let's just have a 360 of this guy. Here we can see a bit of purple here, and you'll see what that is soon. Here we can see this like little thing, like a little roller. I guess if he wants to like go for a field and like plow the dirt, he can. So he can be a tractor if you want. Here we can see a speaker indicating that this guy's actually got some sounds of they use those little circle batteries, and I don't have any of those, so unfortunately again no sound. And even then, I normally don't display this guy with batteries anyway. Now this guy actually has a gimmick where if you, well, first of all, if you move this, you can hear a clicking noise coming from the little I don't know tractors and bulldozers like that, so I don't know what that's called, but it makes a clicking noise. And normally if you can move the treads, which right now it's not doing it, so I'll just do it by hand. Oh, camera's tilting. Anyways, moving this tread, if you can see it, it slightly raises the bucket up and down, which is actually sort of underwhelming. Having a look at the underneath, we can see a bit of the robot and where the bucket transforms. That's pretty much it. We also have the battery cover. And that's pretty much just for Scavenger in his vehicle mode. But before we move on, I have to introduce this guy. This is a mini-con, which is Armada's main gimmick. You see, mini-cons were small Micromaster-sized transformers which could attach on and unlock powers. For example, with Megatron, you could attach one onto his cannon and flip out some missile launchers with, yeah, and etc. But this guy is named Rollbar. I mean, I guess it's sort of a fitting name, and from what I can remember, in Japan, this guy is named Dirt or something, which, like not Dirt Boss, just Dirt. Anyways, let's just get this guy transformed. Oh, this bit always comes off. We lift up the little roll cage thing. We actually move down the back of the vehicle. The seats are actually unique in the sense that they form feet. And then we move these down to the side. Also, if you hear any winds, don't mind it. It's just that currently where I live, it's very stormy right now. Like, very windy. But then we move up these things, so little arms, huge shoulders, and this bit just comes off again. Now, why am I showing Rollbar in his robot mode first? Well, this guy actually has a gimmick with Scavenger in Scavenger's vehicle mode. If we try and move these up, what we can do is lift this up and just put Rollbar inside so he can actually drive Scavenger. And like, this is one of the few Transformers I know of that's able to have a smaller figure right inside, along with most of the Headmasters, and from what I can remember, the Victory Brainmasters. But this guy does not form Scavenger's head. Although I do know two minicons who are able to form a head of a figure, and that's Sideways. Although a review on him will be soon, or well, I'll review him when I review him. Let's just leave it at that. But I'm just going to quickly return Rollbar to his vehicle mode. And let's get on with this guy's transformation. But first of all, I need to prep my camera. There we go, just raise it up a little bit. Now, you can start the transformation by either sweating the bucket or moving the treads out. And well, I know I'm going to start by pulling out the treads and folding out these purple things. And what these do is, these will form Scavenger's hands. So he's pretty much got his fingers in plain sight. And then you can put these little rods in, and what these rods do is prevent the bucket from moving down like so. We then just split it like so. Take this little purple thing and move it out. Take this and move this up, and that will form Scavenger's foot. Do the same with this side, and then just move them to the back like so. Move his arms up, and they're on really nice ratchets. Move these to the side, and then just, if you saw these little bits earlier, these bits are actually supposed to plug in, and these little panels actually fold, so that way the bucket can move up and down for his gimmick. That pretty much does it for his legs, but I'm gonna move on down because, well, if you leave both feet up, he sort of leans over. So next, just turn him at the chest. I'll show that bit last. Wait, move this up. We move down his tread arms, and we just fold. Here we see that this guy actually has elbows, which is actually amazing for this guy. And then you're probably thinking, I mean, seeing how this guy's a green and purple construction vehicle and he's named Scavenger, clearly he must be a Decepticon or even a Constructicon. Well, Armada Scavenger is an Autobot. I mean, what? I mean, this is the first time the name Scavenger was used for a heroic character. And, I mean, come on. I mean, this was Armada, and reusing names for unrelated characters was sort of the norm. I mean, they had a character named Wheeljack who looked like Generation 1 Sideswipe, but was a bloody Decepticon. Granted, he was an Autobot in the show at first before switching to the Decepticons, but come on! What part of this? What part of Scavenger screams Autobot? I mean, if they called this guy something like Scoop, seeing how that was an Autobot Target Master in G1, or if they even came up with a new name like I can't think of anything right now, but come on, Scavenger. I mean, he's not even an excavator. He's a bulldozer. Hell, they could have called him Wedge, seeing how that was one of the RID build guys before Armada. Or hell, Heavy Load, or even just come up with a new name. But no, they just wanted to use Scavenger for some reason. Well, I mean, I'll give this guy credit. I'm fairly certain that this Scavenger has a bit more character than G1 Scavenger, as controversial as it is to say. But now, I'll just add the Rollbar. And we can see the two together. Now, normally Scavenger's supposed to have a gimmick where you plug a minicon into the side and pull it back for a missile to shoot out, but of course, I don't have the missile. Let's just go in for a 360 of this guy. Here we can see a lot of the bulldozer mode still survives. Let's have a look at this guy's head. Without trying to cover my microphone like I've done in the last few videos. Now, if my phone will focus, we can see Scavenger's head, and oh, this guy does not look happy at all. Oh, here he's got a little antenna, and well, this guy is definitely not G1 Scavenger's head, that's for sure. Just from what I can remember, well, G1 Scavenger had like some kind of square mouth. Here we can see his Autobot insignia, so if you want to complain that this guy's an Autobot and not a Constructicon, then go ahead. Now, just wait for my phone to focus. Now, if I did move this foot up, because this is one of my main complaints. If you leave both feet up instead of moving one slightly down so it touches the floor, he just awkwardly tilts over like that, and that's my biggest complaint with this guy. He falls down as if, I don't know, he tripped on something. If anything, he's like Peter Griffin in that one episode, like, ah! 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 That's what it's like. But the reason why he's so, well, he's easy to knock over is because of a gimmick. If you push this guy along, if you look at his legs, and of course this isn't working right now, so I'll just show you aerial. I'll just show you what lifting him up. Moving the drum from the vehicle mode actually moves his feet up and down as if he's walking. So I don't know what they were trying to accomplish there with him, but thanks to that gimmick, he has no leg articulation whatsoever. He has no knees, he has no rotation whatsoever. Pretty much, there's no leg articulation, but for other bits of articulation, his head is actually able to go 360 degrees. His arms can move on this rat shit. He can actually sort of open up his claws, so if he wants to grab Rollbar and choke him, then he can. Previously mentioned elbows, rather tight though, and technically a waist swivel. But that's pretty much it for his articulation. I mean, if he had leg articulation, that'd be amazing. And even in the Armada cartoon, Scavenger was seen splitting his bloody legs. I don't know, maybe one day we can get a third-party line of Masterpiece-style Armada figures, and we'll have a special Scavenger one day. I mean, if we ever get third-party Armada figures, that's going to be amazing, honestly. I mean, we already have a third-party version of Cybertron Starscream, Mr. I Love to Scream Every Day himself. So, come on, Masterpiece-style Armada figures, that could technically happen. As for Rollbar, his articulation is just limited to arms, like that, and actual legs and knees, but still. So pretty much, this concludes my review on Armada Scavenger. Do I recommend him? Only if you really want this guy, because, I mean, and sorry, that's my dog barking in excitement because I think someone's trying to visit, but anyways, do I recommend this guy? Well, only if you absolutely want him. Because, I mean, as stated earlier, he falls down really easily. He has no leg articulation. And I just hate the fact that he's called Scavenger. And he's an Autobot. Now, that last one's just a nitpick, but still. Only get this guy if you really want him. That concludes my review on this guy. And this is Charlie Young signing off.